Henshin go baby, what's good guys? Yoku here, and I went on like this super rant inside of the 2-hour long live stream reaction, whatever it is thing, right? One of the things that I talked about, or rather the thing that I talked about that was like a super rant, was the substat selector, okay? The reason that the substat selector is a big deal is because similar to the other gacha games, Wuthering Waves, Honkai Star Rail, Genshin Impact, it's at a point now where building your characters is very important, at least when it comes to the end game, right? And I will say something that Sar mentioned was that you're supposed to, or whether they were explaining, it's one of those things where the selector is something that you save or use for like that emergency. You know, you need this thing, it's the last piece that you need, and you use the substat selector. And for the most part, I want to agree with you on that. But we're at a point now where we're entering in game, and as we just saw with the new Shiyu defense changes and the slightly new Deadly Assault changes coming, we are now entering a different version of in game than what we've had before. And getting your essential, like what you can control down, right? So like your character build in particular, being able to get that as close to perfect, I use perfect in quotation marks there, being able to get that as close to what you're looking for is very important. And I think offering the substat selector alone, right, along with the main stat selector, is a very great thing. My issue is quite literally only the conversion rate. So I want to bring you guys over here real quick back to the main screen so we can kind of talk about this for a little bit. We're going into the advanced tuning real quick. So I want to show you guys kind of what I'm talking about, and I don't want to like do too much more, right? So we already know the main page that we normally have here is going to look like this, which is where you go when you do your substats, right? I'm in the game as well, so I can go in here. But now we have a new item, which we see at the top here is going to be 8. So 8 resonating tuners is going to be what you use to get the substats. If we look over here, similar to the other gacha games that we may be familiar with, we have the main stat selector right here, which is going to be from the tuning calibrator. Boom. So one tuning calibrator allows you to pick one main stat. We already are familiar with that. The biggest issue that we have right now is that you can't pick the substats. So if I were to come into my own game, which I think I used mine, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Is it still here? Okay, it's still here. It costs 2,000 and I can only buy one. Okay, look at this. I'm in the game. I can only buy one tuning calibrator at the current state of the game right now. In the merits, there is supposedly, they're gonna introduce another way to get the tuning calibrator from the merit system, which is gonna be like the Hollow Zero, right? But I'll bring this back up in a little bit. I'm gonna buy my one right now because I don't have any more. So I'm gonna go over here, we're gonna go over here, we're gonna go all the way into Bardic Needle real quick so I can show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. So we go into Bardic Needle, which is typical. You're gonna come in here, you're looking for like, oh, I'm looking for Chaos Jazz, boom. And I want like an AM disc, right? So I'm coming over here, I click on Anomaly Mastery, I confirm, and now it costs me 6 gold disc and 1 tuning calibrator in order to get the Anomaly Mastery. But if you notice, I still don't have anything to control the substats. So if I look into what can a disc have to get those substats, right? Let's go over to, I'm currently working on my Yanagi. Shout outs to my boy Zena for helping me out with this, right? We're working on a Nagi to build her up. Let's go over here and let's look at the substats. Out of everything that I can get in a substat, right? I'll come down here to substats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 different stats that I can get from a random generator out of my one main stat selector. This is a big reason why not having the substat selector is already dog shit, right? It's already like a bad thing. Then the second biggest problem, which to be fair, this might even be the first biggest problem, is the fact that I can roll into some shit. And I mean literal shit. As you see, I have an AM disc and it only has 1 AP roll. The other 3 rolls are just ass. HP percent, Yanagi can't do anything with that. Defense, flat defense at that, Yanagi can't do anything with that. And then flat attack. And lo and behold, because of my luck, I roll +3 into defense and +1 into AP. This is a dog shit piece. I can't do anything with this piece except use it until I get a better piece. Now, let's say that, okay, well, I have a bad piece. So now the obvious thing to do will be to go and farm. You can go farm for your gear, right? We're also going to be getting the Victorian housekeeping tickets are going to get turned into a different thing called a prepaid power plan or something like that. They're making extra steps to just make the Victorian housekeeping tickets. I don't know why they just wouldn't give us the tickets, but it is what it is. Anyhow, so if I come in here, right, and I didn't have my tickets, as you can see, let's say that I'm again looking for Dawn's Bloom and Moonlight Lullaby because I'm looking for the energy. Boom, right? they're turned into a battery. No. I'm saying that they're making extra steps for you to just use what the ticket is already used for. The ticket is already the thing. This right here is already used for a quick sweep. It's limited to the disk drives. They're changing it so that you can essentially go 1, 2, 3, like converting 2 different things so that you can use it anywhere. You could just make the ticket be used anywhere. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's like you're doing more steps than required is all I'm saying. They're just replacing it and they're making more steps than what they have to. They don't have to do all that. Anyway, going back to what I was explaining, right? Looking for a 2-piece energy or whatever, right? Anomaly mastery. If I came over here and I click on next, which is gonna start whatever it is, that's 60 battery. So if I ran this and I don't get what I want, which, you know, I really don't feel like doing this, but I have to burn battery anyway. So where's Swing Jazz? Is Swing Jazz on Chaotic Metal? I'm not playing Chaotic Metal right now. So there's no reason for me to even look for this. The only thing that we're gonna go for, right, is probably a better Moonlight piece. Who knows? Let's just do it. Let's run a Moonlight piece real quick, guys. Whatever team is on here is what's on here. It doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna take it out just to kind of like explain what's going on, right? So we're doing this here. I'm just doing whatever I can. Done, right? Boom, done. So a clean like 20-second run, something like that, whatever, right? No time at all, but still some time. So now we're gonna see if I get what I'm looking for. Oh no, I just used 60 stamina and I didn't even get 1 Moonlight. Not even the fact that I don't control whether or not it's gonna roll in a 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. I didn't get a single Moonlight at all. I only got Dawns. And even then, what is this? Attack 4 with crit rate? I might be able to use that. Attack 5, okay, pretty good with crit damage. I can lock that in, right? But again, not what I'm looking for. So I wasted, essentially, right? If we're looking at this from the cost relative standpoint, I just wasted stamina on something that I just don't get any value from. That is also a problem. And then we're gonna go back to this, right? Which is what's going on. So we have the main stat selector with its 1 tuning calibrator. We know about that. Then now we have this new item, which is going to be up here, the resonating core. The resonating core is going to be used. This part's good. For 1 resonating core, you get 1 substat. For another resonating core, you can pick the other substat, and you're locked at 2 from what I'm understanding. You only get 2 of these. Whereas in Star Rail's case, Star Rail has it, or had it, they've recently changed it. Star Rail had it when they originally came out, where it was 1 of their items to get a substat. And then if you wanted 2 items, it cost 4. So it was over 2 times the actual amount in order to get 2 substats guaranteed. Mind you, both of these, all of these types of features suffer the same issue, which I just explained to you guys earlier, right? If we come back over here to my account, we look at my Nagi, we come into equipment, I have the AM disc, right? Boom, I use my tuning calibrator right there, but I only have AP and then +3 defense. I cannot control what I roll into, and if I roll into it too much, I can't do anything. Thankfully, the other games, I don't know if Weathering has it, but I do know that Star Rail and Genshin have it. You can re-roll your substats, so there's an item in there for that as well, right? But as of right now, based off what they've announced in the Zenless 2.5 stream, we don't have this option to re-roll stats, so we still are fighting RNG at the end of the day. So now I'm gonna get into, I know that was a little bit long-winded, but now I'm getting into like the meat and potatoes here of like why this is really a problem. So if we were to use 2 of our things, your main question now should be asked, or you should be asking, how do you get a resonating tuner? We already know that tuning calibrators are really rare to come across. I think from a free-to-play perspective, you only get 2 a month. I could be wrong on that, minus the events. If we include events, I think you get 3 a month, right? Someone correct me on that if I'm wrong in the chat, but you definitely aren't pulling back 4 or 5 of these a month consistently. Paid for, I think we can get 4 or 5, maybe even 6, but even then, I don't know. But see, if we come over here, here's all we need to know. For 1 resonating tuner, it costs 2 tuning calibrators. The second rarest resource in the game, which is the tuning calibrator, it costs you 2 of those to get the 3rd rarest resource in the game. This is a horrible conversion rate. It would be better if it was a 1-to-1, but even then, that's still a problem. EO, why is it a problem? It's simply because I believe they should have made this resource anything else. You can make it like a ton of money. You can make it trading in ether batteries. Whatever, something grindable. This needed to be something that was grindable over the course of time. Maybe even if it takes you a week of Hollow Zero, right? Like you have to complete 1 week's worth of Hollow Zero, and then they give you 1 resonating core, which would give you 4 resonating cores total throughout a month of playing through Hollow Zero. Or if you grind through it, right, you can get 2 a week, who knows, right? Or double that. That would have been better than taking your second rarest resource twice to get 1. And then, as I said before, the main issue is still the fact that you cannot control the substat it rolls into, nor can you control or re-roll whatever happens after that point, right? So let's say that you get a baller ass piece. We're just gonna use this piece for now. It's an attack 6, which is for my DPS. I would love something like this. +3 in the pin and +1 into flat attack. That is 5 or 4 wasted stats. But I got double crit. Imagine using a tuning calibrator on an attack 6, right? And then also using 2 resonating cores that you may or may not have had to trade 4 tuning calibrators to get for your double crit stat, right? Boom. Then it rolls +1 into flat attack and +3 into flat pin. You've wasted so many resources to still have a dog shit piece. And if I were to take this piece, right, and click on dismantle, I'm not gonna dismantle it, but I can't even get the resources back. I get 75% of the resources that I would have spent to level up the item, but I don't get any of this stuff here, the copies. I don't get enough of that. I'm not getting my resonating tuner back, and I'm not getting my tuning calibrator back. So like using the item in itself is already expensive. Not being able to get anything back from that is already problematic. So we go into here, we come back to the actual video at hand and like why this is an issue overall. It's just not a healthy conversion rate. There's no other way for you to get this item, which is the resonating tuner, except for, I saw it back here somewhere, here we go, the battle pass, which mind you guys, right? These are the paid for tiers. This first tier right here is the $10 tier. The second tier right here is the $15 or $20 tier, whatever the price is, it's that. These are the paid for tiers, which is saying that the only other way currently that they've announced to get a resonating tuner is by paying for it. Which I know I'm the guy that's always like, yo, just buy the battle pass, just buy the W engine, whatever, which yeah, sure, fine, right? But you're putting an item in the game that is very crucial to helping players get better builds, and you can't actually get this item. There's not a grindable way to get it, and the current conversion rate is extremely high. It's way too high. It's a horrible deal for the player. This doesn't even benefit them from the business perspective. Like they gain nothing from this. And so now we can kind of get into it, right? So like Vicious, you mentioned something that I think Sar was kind of going with the same thing, right? You said it's not really that crucial. Yes, it is. It is that crucial because now you have something that would essentially help you and you get nothing from it. You gain nothing from it. The only way you gain everything from it is by getting like super lucky. Like, oh, okay, I used it, I got my crit rate, and it rolled in like maximum crit rate. Like it +4'd the whole thing for crit rate. And I don't want to call anybody out because I don't know what you guys have in your account, but some of you guys are like, I don't think y'all fully understand, or maybe you're just not at that point in the game where you're trying to maximize these builds or even complete it. You don't even have to maximize the build. You're trying to complete it. My Yanagi, these pieces are not great for Nagi. I don't have amazing pieces for Yanagi. That's why I used her as a really good example for this, right? Because she doesn't have amazing pieces. I'm still working on her. The fact that I need her to have decent pieces in order to get the damage that I'm looking for with whatever team I'm trying to play, going into, even if you use this current end game, a large majority of the players are constantly bitching about not being able to clear end game. One of those pivotal factors is your build. So if we were just bitching about this months ago, right? Mind you, like let's talk about the thing that happened a few months back. AOG made the video and then all of us got in a call. Remember the Hugo thing? Some of you guys might not have seen that, but Jay Stern challenged me to jump on his community account. It had Hugo and I used Hugo to fight Priest. And one of the things that we talked about that he had to open my eyes to it. He's like, yeah, you can have the skill. You actually worked like to get the kill, but a large part of this is the fact that like, I just don't have the build, or I don't have this, I don't have that. Builds matter so much at that base level for you to be able to get the essential, like starting the race, you get to that point. And Cyan, I don't know if you've been gone for like the last 6 months, you might've been. I've never said it's all about skill. I've put a large majority of this is what matters into skill. I'm still telling you, a large majority of that is into skill. Going into the new Deadly Assault or Shiyu defense, my bad, where's it at? Going all the way back here real quick. This right here, the new Shiyu defense, this is largely skill-based. They're changing this so that it's more skill-based. I can kind of get it if a player was like, yo, the tuning thing doesn't matter because I don't use them anyway. You know what I mean? But the thing that helps you get the better build, you should care about. It's not even like I'm asking or saying like, yo, we should get 7 of these a week. No, I don't even care about that. It's not about that at all. It's quite literally the conversion rate just sucks dick. It's bad. Wasting a tuning calibrator on dog shit is horrible. I'm gonna go do it right now. just to prove my point. Let's just see what my Bonway has. He's not done. His build's not done. Look at this shit. HP 5, 30%. Flat defense, flat attack, +2 in the attack, and then crit rate. This disc is dog shit for him, right? Can't do anything with this disc. I'm gonna go for a fire damage bonus disc because I don't have his W engine, right? So I want a little bit of extra damage. We're gonna go over here. I'm gonna go to Yunquake Tails. I'm gonna select the fire damage bonus. I'm gonna confirm. One of two things is gonna happen. I'm gonna get an amazing disc or I'm gonna get shit. We're gonna tune this. I'm gonna waste it just for the sake of this video to prove my point. Skip, let's see what I get. HP %, anomaly, crit damage. So far, we're looking phenomenal. This is an easy lock right here. Now let's see if I get crit rate. I got flat defense %. That's nasty. Let's go again. Oh, I rolled in the HP %. I could definitely get away with that, right? I can get away with that. Let's go back. Let's get some dismantling, guys. Let's see if maybe I can get a little bit more out of this. All we're looking for today. Enhance. There's another HP. There's my flat. Guys, I can barely use this. It's better than this piece, right? But it's not what I need. It's mid. You said peak disc. You said +5, extremely solid. It rolled in a defense twice. Yo, no, I don't even, I'm not the perfect, bro. Yo, you guys are bugging. You guys are bugging. I don't think I'm that out of touch. I don't think I'm that out of touch. I'm not that out of touch. And I even had Kate like run me through how substats are and like reading substats and like what it is, what it's not, whatever. You guys think something rolling into defense twice is good? Like that's good to you. This is mid. You guys think that's good? Nah, no. It's a mid piece. It's in the middle. It's just, that's what mid means. It's just in the middle. Come on here, bro. I'm disappointed. I gotta leave this in the video. I'm actually disappointed. I didn't realize that you guys were so like, how do I put it? You guys are willing to accept like whatever it is, which I guess kind of helps out because go show us the internet network. I don't think it's updated. Is it updated? Sound like you guys are leading me down some lies right now. He's not 60. Yo, sorry. You literally just saw me get him on Wednesday with no preparation to have this character whatsoever. Does not meet the basic requirements. He can't even get ranked. That disc 5 you got is excellent. Let's see. You know what? Hold on. I know a better way to do this. We're gonna check that disc 5. Hold on. We're gonna check that disc 5. I know a much better way to do this. We're gonna put the disc 5 on my Yidhari and I want to see what it says. My disc, a disc being double S or S rank or God rank or anything like that has nothing to do with whether or not I slap it on Yidhari. Like a good disc is gonna be a good disc. That is how that would work. Here we go. A rank. The disc is, this isn't good. I told y'all it was mid. It's mid. It's an A rank disc. What are we doing? Guys, I'm constantly going for kills in Deadly Assault. I'm constantly going for sub 60-second clears in Shiyu defense. You know the amount of players that are significantly better than me who look at my account and say, this disc is ass, this disc is mid, you're not gonna kill with this, blah, 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 blah. I don't need a website like Internet to tell me whether or not a disc is good. I understand that some of you guys are like not at that point for like going for kills. So the way that you, yo, if my camera, yep, there it is. My camera's off. My camera got too hot. I'm gonna finish this up. Because the camera's dead now. It's off. My camera's never overheated before. That's crazy. Anyway, talking about this real quick, all right? The disc itself and why I'm stressed about, or rather why I'm trying to get you guys to understand like why the, let me go back to this thing. Why I'm trying to get you guys to understand like that substat selector being what it is. If it wasn't supposed to be in the game or if they didn't care about the substats, they wouldn't have put it in the game. The issue isn't the item itself. The issue is the conversion rate. I don't know how else to spin that, right? The issue is literally the conversion rate. That's all it is. And so going back to the actual thing in the game, we rolled this piece, it's mid. So if I put this piece back on my Bonway, right? That's totally fine to do. In fact, I don't even think she had that. I think she had this, right? There we go. If I put this piece back on my Bonway, for my Bonway at this current stage in the game of me building him and learning how to play him, The piece itself is mid. It's okay. But as we see, my stats aren't where they need to be. So what that tells me, what that tells the game is I still need to work. Look, even the game says it. Base assessment, good. Agent level, good. Engine, beginner. Drive disc, outstanding. They're not talking about the disc that I just put on my boy. Drive disc, good. I'm gonna put something else on. Here's that trash piece. Let me see if it still says that. Look, drive disc, outstanding. We all know that piece is dog shit. This piece is ass. Here's the game, oh, outstanding. Great job, bro, great job. Amazing build. Look at these stats. It's not ass. You guys have to not understand good stats or good disc. Y'all are insane for this, bro. If this is how you think about the disc, it makes more sense why you don't think that the conversion rate for that stuff is bad. This is ass. Like it it's just not good, bro. Thank you, Mal. Thank you. You get it, but not everybody gets it, you know? But anyway, chat's rage baiting me, guys. I guess I got rage baited by chat then, bro. I didn't realize that was the thing to do. I thought I had much more sensible people in my chat, but apparently not. Apparently I have like 12-year-old Timmys in here. I didn't think I had that type of community, but it is what it is. I've learned my lesson today. I apologize for the teary ad, all right? But anyway, I think I saw somebody earlier say like don't use just don't convert, which I would agree with. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna recommend anybody convert, but the problem is what I mentioned way earlier, getting them in the first place. No one wants something in the game that you just can't take advantage of, right? If the item is there for you to be able to use it, you're gonna want to use it. But if it's not there, then it doesn't really matter. It wouldn't really matter. You know what I mean? My boy Bonway is in tier 1. My boy is in tier 1. Eo, how do you feel? As the fighting game guy, how do you feel about the fighting game character being slapped in tier 1? This is blasphemy. He should be in tier 0.